Hey guys, welcome back. Got a new video today on how to protect yourself from the coronavirus. Now this video is sponsored by Fireboard. A lot of you know it's my new book. If you haven't seen it, check it out at michaeljsteen.com. That's michaeljsteen.com. The name will be above me and the link will be in the description. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. This book is sponsoring this video. I appreciate your support. Okay, the reason I'm shooting this video today is I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of people that are doing things that are not safe, or they just are probably not educated. You all know that I was a fireman. A big part of being a fireman is practicing universal precautions. We were taught that for years. Back in the day, you had the AIDS scare and different things, hepatitis, and we did a lot of training on how to work safely. I never contracted anything, so hopefully this video will help you. Now, this is not designed for professionals, so a lot of you that may want to comment about it, this is more for the layperson who has never had a class and doesn't understand what personal protective equipment is and universal precautions against whatever may be outside. Now, as a general rule, you want to consider your car as your safe place, your clean place. So you don't want to bring anything from the outside in. I'm going to show you a few strategies that I know and that I practice that will probably help you to do that. You got to imagine that your house is probably pretty clean and corona free. If you can keep your car and yourself corona free, you're never going to bring that into your house. So hopefully with these strategies, we're going to help you to do that. So I'm shooting this video. I'm heading up to a restaurant and the bank. I'm going to show you a couple of strategies there that you can deal with to maybe help keep yourself safe. Really, one thing I want to impress upon you is don't freak out about this virus. I see the media and a lot of different people who have vested interest into freaking you out or trying to do that. Your chances of dying from this at the time of this video is still less than 1%. So chances are I'm gonna die driving in this car to the restaurant than that I ever will from corona. So let's try to keep that in perspective. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about how the virus is passed. The virus is passed, be it either droplets in the air when someone sneezes, or they're too close to you when they're talking, and or you pick it up on generally a hard surface onto your hands, and then you wipe your mucosal membranes, meaning your eyes, your nose, places like that. That's how you're going to get it. It ain't just going to jump on you, and it doesn't survive on soft surfaces very long. So I really don't want you to freak out about it, and I hope maybe this video will put it at ease. So while we're headed up here, I want to talk to you about your dirty hand and your clean hand. So what I mean by that is I'm going to show you when I interact through the window, if I've got to touch something, and you can do this and you don't have to have gloves. You could wear gloves, but sometimes the gloves give you a false sense of security. So it is not going to go through your hand. It is not going to go through your skin. So long as you practice some common sense things here, you're going to see how we will not let it come into the car. Okay, so this is your dirty hand. Anything that I might reach out for and touch that could be contaminated, I'm going to use my dirty hand. And then I'm going to clean it before I touch anything in the car. All right, this is my clean hand, typically your strong hand. If you're right-handed, it'd be your right hand. If you're wrong-handed, left-handed, you're screwed. No, I'm just kidding. So you can just use them back and forth. So when I touch things with my dirty hand, before I touch anything else with my clean hand, I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to show you that. One of the things that I've identified that when you're in your car that may possibly transfer it because it's touched a lot is your credit cards or your cards. I'm going to show you a strategy how to maybe avoid that. You know, I wanted to make the point about, you know, how easy it is to catch this. It's not that easy. My daughter's a nurse. I know lots of nurses, doctors, EMS workers, people that are working around this on a everyday basis, and they haven't contracted it. Long as you take precautions, and it be reasonable precautions, you're probably not going to contract it. Okay, I'm at the bank. This is probably one of them areas a little high on the level of being able to contract it, because the thing that is used to send your money back and forth is being touched by a lot of people. But it can be done safely using the dirty hand technique, as I'm going to show you, and the clean hand technique. Of course, the new normal is you're going to have some type of hand cleaner in your car. That's just going to be the thing going forward. It's probably not a bad thing. It's going to probably help us from contracting the flu and many other things. So it's probably a really good thing to do going forward. Okay, a little preparation when you come into places like this will probably go a long ways. As you're going to see when I pull up here, clean hand, dirty hand. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to open the container with my dirty hand. I'm going to put whatever I need to put in and close it with my dirty hand, not touching anything or not touching the carrier. And then when it comes back out, I'm going to reverse that process. And because they possibly have touched your license or whatever it is you may be doing your bank card, you got a decently hard surface. We're just going to decontaminate that or clean that. Put this back, clean our hands, as you'll see, and then you're good to go. Okay, here we go, game on. We're gonna pull up here. We're gonna get the carrier out. All right, this is my dirty hand. I'm gonna open this up. Put in my thing, close it, put it back. It's always my dirty hand. Okay, so when it comes back, reach out with your dirty hand. I've not touched anything in here yet. Get it out. Pour out your cash or whatever it is you're getting. Dirty hand, still not touched anything. Close it up. Clean hand. Put my window up. Then I'm gonna go ahead, get my bottle. Put a little bit in there. Clean my hands. And then the hard surfaces, I just rub my license. And then while they're still wet, I usually rub my wheel. Every time I clean my hand, I just constantly rub my wheel in the car. Let's pull out. There's people behind us. Okay, it's really as simple as that. So really with that transaction, the only thing that I touched was with my dirty hand, and then I cleaned my hand. So anything that came into my car is now clean. I'm sure we're gonna get the question about the cash and doesn't it spread on the cash. I just don't believe that it does. If it did, we would have a much faster spread rate. It is a fairly soft surface, and the virus is not gonna be able to stay alive very long on that. And then also when cash goes in, a lot of times it sets, or anything that sets, chances are it's not going to survive on that surface. So I just don't think, I think you're okay. Okay, here we are at the Taco Bell. We're going to come up here and get something to eat, and I'm going to show you the strategies, and this would work pretty much anywhere.
Hi, how are you today?
Doing good, and you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much for asking.
Steak quesadilla. Okay, remember the strategy here is the only thing where you may have a problem is when you give them your card, and your card is, you know, it's a fairly hard surface. This one's actually like a metal. So we want to take the precautions of using our dirty hand when we hand it to them. When we get it back, we're going to lay it down, because you're going to have the bag and stuff in the way. Get it over out of the way. Pull forward using your clean hand. Drive forward. Don't touch anything with your dirty hand. Get over to where you can stop. Clean your hand, clean your card, you're good to go. Okay, here we go.
Any sauce for you?
Doing good.
Right? Okay. ¿Quieres algo más, señora?
All right, thank you. Dirty hand.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, how are you today?
All right, so we got my card, dirty hand. Pull up here, clean hand and put my window up. All right, I'll step. Lay this down. I usually put it down between my legs on I have a towel that's on my seat. Go ahead, get a little bit of your hand cleaner. Clean your hands and clean the card. If anything was on here, we stopped it from coming to us. I intentionally try not to touch any more on the outside surfaces of, you know, what we got, but as a general rule, you should be good. Some people will just go crazy with this, thinking about, but what about the paper and all that? The fact of the matter is, if it was that contagious, we would, all of us just about would have it. It's not that contagious. Okay, we're getting ready to go into a little store here, Rural King. It's a little local, like a probably a cross between a Walmart and a Tractor Supply, but got to get some feed for my animals. But so you're gonna see, I can't really talk in there too much, it freaks people out. So you're gonna see probably one of the danger places of the many things that we do. I know they're cleaning them, but is the handle on the cart. I just try not to touch that. I usually just walk beside it and pull it from the front. The chances that anybody has touched there are very slim. To me, it makes a lot of sense. And because long as you don't have to give them your card in there, I'm not going to touch anything, any surfaces that I don't need to. And when I use my card, I'll use my clean hand. And then when I get out, I usually have a rag nowadays in my back pocket, mainly because it's hot here in Florida. And then I use that to touch any surfaces that I must touch without then having to have the gloves. This brings up the point about the gloves, about shouldn't you wear the gloves? If it makes you feel better, wear the gloves. However, I've seen so many people wearing their gloves, touching their face, touching their car, getting in their car. They're contaminating their car. If you're going to wear gloves when you get out of the car, before you get back in the car, you need to take the gloves off, because that would be just like touching surfaces and not decontaminating your hands. So where you'll see me go in here, I'm gonna push the cart around, I'm gonna get a few things I need, come on out, and then we'll talk when we get back.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you just to wait for just a second, unless
Okay.
you want to pull that cart right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Just grab that silver one. Those are all busted.
Oh, okay, well I'm gonna wait for a regular one because I
Okay.
don't touch that handle.
I'll clean it off for
I'm not gonna touch the handle.
you. Oh, okay.
Thank you. Not worrying about touching this, it's not been touched by anybody. I am getting low. Okay, there it is.
It's okay. I'll
Just a corn. Get 'em corn. Dirty hand. Clean hand. Okay, we successfully did it. And now since we're back in the car, do some cleaning. Now if you notice in there with the card, I didn't have to give it to anybody, or it didn't touch anything. So my card and my wallet, everything's good. Clean my steering wheel. So that's pretty good. We went in, we didn't have to touch anything major, and we got out. So my hands are clean, everything's clean. I've not brought anything into the car, and we'll head back to the house. One thing I do want to mention about is you probably for a while need to try to remember. Now my hands are clean, I cleaned my hands, so I'm not worried about doing this. You need to try to not be doing that anymore. But I found that if you just use the back of your arm, if your nose itches or whatever, is to go ahead and do that instead of touching with your hands. That way, if you did have anything in your hands, it wouldn't get transferred to your mucosal membranes and you'd be okay. So just something to think about. Okay, here's one more stop at the gas station. This is one where there's a common thing that people are touching, and we'll just quickly do it. Notice that what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my dirty hand. I'm gonna use a rag to hold the handle for the gas pump my fuel, and then I will have never really touched anything that could transfer the virus. Many of them have these sets where you can set it. That's the best thing, so you ain't gotta touch it. You gotta hold it, just put your rag around it. No big deal. When you're done, put it back. And get back in your car. Now, I never touched anything other than with that rag, and then if you just leave the rag setting for a while, you don't have nothing to worry about. But that rag, obviously you can wash it every day, so there you go. All right, pretty much that's about it. That's most situations. You could adapt that to about anywhere that you may have to go. Just be careful to keep your vehicle clean as far as the virus, so that you take nothing back to your home. You don't have nothing to worry about. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, give me a thumbs up there. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below, and maybe show it to your kids. And I know, you wouldn't naturally know all these things. Since I've, was a retired fireman, I was trained on all that, and then I use my common sense. So if you have any questions about anything I've talked about, you can leave it in the comments. Again, I think you've noticed I've done everything without having gloves. So I hope this helps you. And if it does, let me know that in the comments. And remember, if you hadn't got you a copy of Fireboard, it's a great read. Take a look at that. I'm gonna leave that on the way out. So thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Y'all be careful.